Hey everybody, it's Gil, and I am here today to do a contest entry or a draw entry or whatever people want to call these things nowadays. It is an entry for Steve Carlson's 1000 sub contest. Stick around. I'm Gil. This is my channel. If you don't like it, turn it off. Okay, so I came across Steve's site and I guess, I might have watched some of his stuff before. And anyways, long story short, I feel like a turd because I didn't realize I was never actually subscribed to him. So now I did subscribe, and I'm going to enter this contest just for fun because I'm wanting to make a video. I thought I'd enter this one. But after I decided to enter this for, picking 5 of your go-to albums, I realized that doing this is really hard for me because every album to me is a go-to album. So I purposely didn't take any of my records that I have in my top 10 Desert Island albums, which is like my first video that I made, which is like a couple years ago already, my first video I've ever done for the vinyl community. None of those are included on this because usually I found that my main go-to albums were those in those 10. So, and I kind of thought, well, since I already did that, it's fine. So I kind of thought, well, I just went into my CDs and I picked 5 albums. I kind of thought, well, if it's your go-to albums, let's see what 5 I pick. And yeah, these are pretty much my go-to. I pick these ones a lot of the time, and they are default awesome albums for me. So the first one I picked is Jane Siberry's Teenager. And Jane Siberry's a singer here in Canada. I'm not too sure how popular she got in the States and so forth. I guess she, around New York and that, I know she was fairly big in that. Always loved her singing voice, always loved it. But this one I really like because these are songs that she wrote when she was a teenager, and but then she re-recorded them being older and so forth, and it's fantastic. There's a lot of great tracks on this. It's our key to success. We'll be famous world over. I'll make lots of money, and you'll have sweet clover. Fly now across the sky. Fetlocks are flapping. It's just you and I would, this is my favorite, probably my favorite Jane Siberry album. And I was also lucky enough to meet her at one time, got her to autograph it right there across the side. So that's my first one. Second one, another Canadian classic band, I guess. One of my favorite Canadian bands of all time. And that's the Rheostatics. And their album, Whale Music. And if you were to only have one Rheostatics album, I would think this one would be the one. Whale Music is a classic. Just the songwriting on this album is just fantastic. Martin Tielli's guitar work on this album is phenomenal. One of my favorite guitar players of all time. It's a must have for anybody. If you were to only have one Rheostatics album, I believe this would be the one. My next go-to album for me is if I'm in a thrashy mood and so forth, it would be Slayer's Rain and Blood. I could listen to this album from front to back over and over and over again. It never gets boring. Angel of Death. I mean, when the first time I heard that song and got that on record when I was a kid, it blew me away. Nothing would ever top it. to this day, it still holds up. And then my favorite Radiohead album, Hail to the Thief. There's some great tracks on this one, like 2 + 2 = 5, and Where I End, You Begin. Yeah, this whole album is just fantastic. So that's a good go-to one. And then my last go-to pick would be the Look People Crazy Eggs. Look People were a band here in Canada, came from Toronto and so forth. I don't know. They didn't really get hugely popular, I don't think, but
a squirt of mace, baseball in my face, 100-yard dash, finger up the ass.
They are still one of my favorite bands. I loved seeing these guys live. It was phenomenal. Kevin Hearn from Look People, he ended up going on, and he ended up being in Barenaked Ladies. So, but yeah, so that's it. Those are my albums. These 5. So short and sweet. Those are my 5 go-to albums. Hopefully, maybe if it's something that you want to check out, feel free to check them out because they're awesome. But anyways, congratulations on the 1,000 subscribers, Steve, and I hope it continues on more for you. And
if you didn't like it,
I'm gonna get going.
watch
Catch
something
up.
else.